And good evening, everyone. It is late at night in the USA, it's early in the morning in Europe, and I have no idea what time it is where you are, but there is Rando happening, so we're going to restream it. I'm Cool Papa Bell 2282, and alongside me is Captain 1977. How you doing tonight?
You know, it is late, but I'm always ready for Rando. Rando never sleeps.
And neither does anyone involved in this restream, apparently. So I am looking forward to this match as well.
Yep, we got the first race in the winners bracket of Group X. We got Rayvis versus Demo. Both of them won their first group stage, 2-1 against Brogor. Demo defeated Brogor 2-1, and Rayvis defeating Hayfield Bay 2-1. And yeah, this is game one of the finals of the group stage, and winner moves out to the bracket stage, and loser will face Hayfield Bay, and then we'll find out from there who goes out of the bracket stage. So yeah, we're getting ready to go here. We're almost set.
And as usual for this tournament, we are in standard mode hard item pool. So anybody who likes silvers, you should watch another race.
And we are underway. Standard start. We're gonna start Link's house, and we make our way up to the castle. Try to rescue Zelda. See, it's a quick seed. They rescue Zelda right away. The game's over, right?
Sorry, I had to step away for a quick second there, but we're getting some nice sync as the runners drop into the Uncle drop down.
Fire rod start. That is a difficult weapon to start out with. There, always got to conserve that magic. However, boots to start. That's always nice to see.
Yeah, everybody likes going fast. It can definitely be tricky, though, to dash around with no sword and just be running into enemies. But yeah, the Fire Rod is very good at killing stuff, but not so good at keeping your magic bar high, so that will be something our runners will need to keep an eye on.
It's definitely magic management is always a concern when you have the fire rod because it uses quite a bit. You get 8 shots with the fire rod with the full magic bar, so you gotta conserve it. There are magic pots in Escape you can find, so but other than that, yeah, just gotta be careful.
Yeah, and both our runners were smart and picked up both of those early pots in the secret passage to top themselves off there.
You saw Rayvis there. He did miss a shot with one of the fire rods, so he's gonna have one less shot. Try to farm a bomb for the back. Well, actually, we don't need bombs for the back of the skate because we got boots already, so bomb's not really concerned right now.
Yeah, you certainly wouldn't mind finding them for Kakariko, but I think Magic, they should be okay at this point because it's pretty much just one shot on the ball and chain guard and then the key rat.
We find the small key there at Zelda cell, and we're gonna make our way back upstairs, head to the secret passage in the throne room and through the sewers. Um,
And so far, I'm not really seeing anything that's going to probably make these runners deviate from going to Kakariko next. There's always a chance that they will go to Lost Woods, and then if they have no bombs at that point, they might save and quit to do South Shore or something like that, looking around for bombs. But some people really dislike going to Kakariko with 0 bombs because you sort of have to hope you find some in the well or find enough rupees to buy some, so it can be frustrating.
You know, seeing how we got boosts so early, we might see an early lumberjack check. Get a tree pull up there. There's a bush crab. You could see if they have bombs, or it seems to be a popular route when you have the boots. So, and nice RNG there from the snakes there. So, and we're gonna get a look at the Dark Cross chest. As soon as he stops getting bullied, we get a heart container. Also, to know, we are going to cap out at 14 hearts today. We cannot get any more in the heart item pool. So, and no mail upgrades, no silvers, as you said, and temper sword and fire shield is as high as we can get.
But of course, this is just hard item pool, as I am sure avid watchers of the tournament are familiar with by now. All the items work the way they're supposed to. We just don't find as many of them.
Oh, well, okay, there's a sword in the back of Escape. That's good. That's going to help the dash it around a bit.
All right, sword and a fire rod. Let's go to Skull Woods.
And coming out of the escape sequence about 5.5 minutes in, to be expected when you find the boots. And well, okay, sure, game. You find the master sword already. We are 2 swords in, almost 6 minutes in. We have 2 swords already. Quick map check there. I saw a 5/6 crystal at Hera.
And vanilla green pendant over there at Eastern Palace.
Boots already. We're gonna check Bonk Rocks. Just a piece of heart today. And they are going to check tree pole here, lumberjack ledge. Hey, there's Bob's on the tree pole. That's always good.
And both of our runners getting those, so Kakariko is now pretty much taken care of.
Just a big 20 there on lumberjack, so if Aga is required, it's not going to be for that. To Lost Woods on the big 20 there. He's going to go ahead and pick that up. It's free. They don't have a lot of money right now.
Yeah, and those 4 bombs are just enough to do everything in Kakariko, so they might be thinking about buying more if we don't find any. There's a Quake medallion in the Lost Woods hideout.
Might be important, might not. We don't know yet. We head to the Toledo Bridge, Kakariko. Tons of checks here to do. Including 5 right here in Blind's hideout. Got, ooh, the mirror. And our first shield upgrade. Mirror is always nice to find.
Yes, he'd been very generous early on. That mirror doesn't do a ton in the light world, but if we can get up to Death Mountain, of course, that will get us up to Tower of Hera.
And there we see the flippers there at the back of the well. And some more bombs. There we're maxed out at shields already. We got the fire shield.
Like maxing out that shield in the first 10 minutes.
Well, giving the brothers enough money to check the bottle vendor. We got 10 arrows in the chicken nut. Fortunately, the bottle vendor says, give me 100, I'll give you 20 back.
Bottle vendor is working his way up to full Zora scam life. Our runners might be thinking about Zora at this point with those flippers putting him in logic already, but we are well short of the cash to do it right now. Our first bottle in the library.
Yeah, you probably see the runners run back up here. Check the sick kid.
Nice spin speed there for Rayvis to make this extra trip a little faster.
Sick kid's gonna have the flute. Wow. Talk about convenience there. Finding bottle in the library, then the flute just activated right away.
That all of a sudden makes that mirror a lot more interesting because now Death Mountain is in logic. We can get to and full clear Tower of Hera since we have that fire source as well. This is a seed that, I don't know about you, I always find this scary as a runner when there's like 37 different things you could do already before you even leave Kakariko.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, usually you like a more linear seed, but, yeah, it's not the worst thing, but not the best thing either, if that makes sense.
I'd certainly rather have too many items than not enough items, so...
Featuring the dam we find. Ooh, wow, a single rupee. I'd pick that up. Oh, wait. No.
And yeah, both of our runners sticking with the somewhat standard routing. South Shore very quick to get to for 7 checks when you have that flute.
20 rupees. Piece of heart. 20 rupees. But, and we got tempered already. Just over 12 minutes in, we're at tempered sword. Fire shield.
We're going to start seeing those green 20s real fast at this rate. So it looks like Rayvis is going to do all of these flipper checks together. We'll see if he wants to use the water walk. Yep, setting it up there in the Ice Rod Cave. Water walk becomes a little bit trickier to keep when you actually have flippers, because you want to avoid those shallows. Oh, Bombos hanging out on Lake Hylia Island.
That's going to be available to us as soon as we get Dark World access. So it's good knowledge to have right now. The hobo's going to give us just some bombs. And where are we going from here? We are headed to the eastern area.
Interesting. So Rayvis not going to Death Mountain just yet. Maybe wants to check off one more high density location in case we find something like a hammer or a hook shot to make that Death Mountain play a little bit more lucrative.
And speak of the devil, there it is, the hook shot. And magic powder too, yep.
And meanwhile, Demo is going to finish off these flipper checks. We'll see Waterfall Cave. And no Zora money, but we can still take a peek at that ledge item. Ooh, Moon Pearl in the Waterfall Cave. Ooh.
Take a look at that Zora ledge item here. Not get the Zora item, but the ledge is anything important. Is, well, it was almost Zora money.
Yeah, Demo's probably glad that it's not quite Zora money, because then you have to stop and think like, is it really worth it to walk all the way around this loop twice? There is our first green 20 on the old man. But Rayvis just heading up the mountain, but does not have that hook shot in hand just yet. So definite advantage to Rayvis if both runners go to Hera, since Rayvis will be able to Hera pot and hopefully make quicker work of the tower than Demo will.
It's our Dark World matchups. We got Pendant Turtle Rock. That's about all I saw. So
I think Pendant Mire as well, and I think our other red crystal was Pod, if I saw that right.
Wow, so Cadence Samaria could be locked away in GT at this point. It's interesting.
Yeah, chat was lamenting that with Boot so early we can't have the Big Key on Torch Troll, but we could still have the hidden Cane of Samaria and Big Key on Right Side Troll, so...
Ooh. And Rayvis not going to take any chances here. He's going to go ahead and do the basement. Get that Big Key.
Yeah, I think we saw the map or compass in the first check of Hera, so it's so likely that the big chest has a has an item that he's just going to go ahead and grab the Big Key right now.
Yeah, you really don't want to leave anything behind this early.
Especially when, you know, we got that fire rod already, that might be pointing at this basement being logically locked behind that fire source. I'm just going to say that bomb throw from Rayvis was pretty disgusting to time that with the last tile coming out and blowing it up slightly faster to get you through the door a few frames earlier than you would have otherwise.
You see, he is going to Hera pot here, but having pick up that Big Key is not a big deal.
That was an interesting setup for that one. So had the hook speed on, which also lets you clip that extra pixel in. You don't need the bomb knockback necessarily, but I've not seen that particular pause buffer for that before.
See, the big chest just having the map, so even if they would have had our pot, it would have been fine.
Yeah, and both of our runners checking this basement, so that time pretty much evens out.
Rayvis heads upstairs to take on the big worm. Hold on. One slash, one spin, and down he goes. Good use of the hook shot there to not get hit, and it's just 50 rupees, but first crystal at 19 minutes.
Yeah, and the big thing here now is that Rayvis will have the opportunity to do a lot more of Death Mountain with that hook shot. Can open up Paradox Cave and Spiral.
Yeah, it's where Demo don't have that hook shot. He's gonna have to leave Death Mountain right after he does Hera here.
It's not going to be a significant time loss because he's probably going to flute straight to Saha, find the hook shot, and then think about fluting straight back up the mountain.
Yeah.
And I think the interesting thing about finding that hook shot is that now, if Aga comes into logic, if we find that lamp, that does give us access to get across the river, across the north side.
You had to say something, didn't you?
Well, look, a few minutes ago I said something about maybe they're going to find hookshot, and then they found hookshot, so, you know, I have to go the other direction, too.
And yeah, we have Aga completely open now, and we did find a shovel though, so they might check that first. I'm sure they're gonna exhaust all the options before heading to Aga. So.
Yeah, so let's see, what's in logic before Aga? We've still got the Eastern Palace dip, we have Agina, we've got Zora himself, and I think that's about it.
Demo or Rayvis right away gonna go check that shovel. Oh, there's the glove. So they find another glove upgrade or the hammer. Aga can be avoided.
Yeah, and that's definitely more interesting because that's going to make our runners a little bit more inclined to clear out everything. So whereas before you might maybe skip Zora and just go to Aga, if you're only one item away from being able to get regular Dark World access, you might exhaust everything in the Light World. So we'll see how that affects the runners' routing decisions here.
Be interesting to see if Rayvis sees that 300 on ledge, be like, I can grab that and get Zora right now. And it looks like he is going to do that.
So we will see what sort of reward Rayvis gets for this these couple of laps around the Zora domain. And the Scamfish has just 3 bombs for us. Ooh, and here we go. Demo is just going straight for the Aga play now. Found that lamp in Paradox Cave, knows that Aga is in Logic. And so is going to skip out on Agahnim Cave and be the first one going to Aga Tower. Rayvis just behind.
The gloves were in the digging spot. Answer a question in chat.
So if Demo winds up doing just sort of a standard Dark World loop, those gloves really aren't going to cause him too many problems. I guess if the other glove is somewhere in Village of Outcasts, that would prevent him from being able to do Smith's Chain right away, but he is almost certainly going to check that shovel spot as part of his Dark World loop when doing Stumpy and K45 and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you get the feeling that these runners are gonna want to head over to the Skull Woods, Thieves Town area first with that fire rod in hand. Skull Woods gonna be completable. Then head south from there.
Yeah, the pod EP combo is possible, as chat is pointing out for us. No hammer or bow, so it's yeah, an interesting decision because there's sort of 2 schools of thought on this. That one is when you have to do Aga, you just check absolutely everything you can in the Dark World. The other school of thought, though, is that we have that those flippers and hookshot to get us across the river. But it's a little bit tough to read into that because Flippers also got us to the Pearl, so maybe that was the reason why those were so early in the seed. I'll say in my personal experience, I always convince myself to not go to pod, and then it's always the wrong move, so we'll see what these runners do.
So, next question is, how many blue balls are we gonna get here from Aga?
Let's go 1.
Someone in chat said 15. Ooh. So not 15. There's 1. And 2.
Up to 3 now on demo side, 4 now.
So, those of you don't know, Aga will shoot 4 shots. The first shot is guaranteed to be an energy ball. The next 3 could be either a blue ball or a energy ball, and if it's all blue balls after the first energy ball, it could be a maximum up to 15. And we just had 4 today, so not too terrible. Both runners running off the pyramid, and we are heading towards. I think they're headed toward pod. Demo's heading toward pod anyway. Not having done Zora, he's got the money for it right now, and Rayvis is a bit short. At this point, you need 110 rupees to get into pod. So he's probably going to head to the village of outcasts.
And Rayvis also skipping out on the catfish check, which would have been possible since he has that first glove. So this is our first serious divergence from these two runners. And we will see what Demo is able to find here in pod. We do have that red potion. In case we get blocked by the bow, Demo can still do the potion camera unlock to get to the back of the dungeon.
Not going to be necessary. We are not bow locked today. Although you could still see him potion glitch to get to that bow lock section. Heading down to the big key chest here in pod. Guaranteed 4 keys in the front of pod. Sometimes it's more. We get a heart container there in the big key chest. Upper ledge, we have 10 bombs.
All right, big key in the front. So there's going to be 2 more small keys on the right side. So that means pod is, in fact, logically bow locked. Demo does not care. We're going to do it anyway. I think that makes sense while you're here.
See him take a hit there from the blueberry just so you can use that potion. Moves the mimics out the screen and the door opens. Rayvis is taking that fire rod that he's at the beginning, is going to take it into Skullwood.
And routing this fully back to front. Once again, makes sense. Since Skullwoods is that crystal, you're going to do the boss no matter what, so you might as well hope the items are back there, and we'll save you some checks later on.
That mirror is going to help that too. A lot quicker to move around.
And Demo doing the hammer yump there, which is a time saver when you find the big key early on in pod.
Great moth fight there from Rayvis. Finds the first item, just 10 arrows, but second crystal.
Yeah, and with as early as we found Tempered Sword, we are going to see a lot of pretty fast boss fights. So Demo getting to the end of pod with nothing in there is going to go ahead and mirror and make this eastern dip while we're here as well.
The Eastern, we got some bombs. Still looking for that next piece of progression here. Something that really opened up the seed. In the second mile of Skullwoods, we got 3 bombs, so it's not going to be at Skullwoods today, but plenty of other places to look.
3 bombs was not really the progression you were looking for there?
You know, not really. Kind of hope for something more, but looks like he doing a check here that's something that runners usually don't do. Enter Hamlet as Thieves Town. Hopefully that big chest is not gonna have an item.
Yeah, everything pretty dry in the aftermath of this Aga kill from both of our runners. Demo's got one more check in Eastern with that big chest, and we'll probably see him mirror back, go through the portal, and then save and quit to get back into the Dark World.
You know, good point brought up in chat. We are pretty much Miss Mirror Bow away from Gobo potentially, with Meyer and Turok being pendants.
Yeah, no worries about the Ice Rod hunt, the Cane hunt. And here we'll see how Demo can get around to the west side of the Dark World, swimming up past the Hammer Pegs, even though he does not have that glove yet. So now Demo is going to probably not be feeling great about that entire pod Eastern trip. Came up totally dry, and so he is now sort of following around where Rayvis has already been a few minutes behind.
Not much happening in Thieves Town either, unfortunately. Not yet, anyway.
And comment in chat about Demo not going to Catfish and Zora. Demo cannot go there because there is a rock in the way, and that's the one spot where that glove is really getting in Demo's way right now, that he has not found that off the dig spot yet.
Yeah, Devil's gonna route that in with the south of Kakariko's checks, sure. Hey, and there is not an item in the big chest. The small key is in the big chest, so not have to worry about that today.
Yeah, Reynolds going to be pretty happy about that, to not have to come back to Thieves Town later.
So do you think the ice rod is cool?
They keep giving Blind new jokes, but they never get any better.
That is very true. Nice use of the cane of burner there. And Thieves Town was completely empty. However, it is the third crystal. Had to do it anyway, so not really any time lost. Just no progression there in Thieves Town or Skull Woods. So where do you go from here? Swamp is open, I guess.
Yeah, you got that first chest of Swamp. Hype Cave is the most likely spot, along with the other South Dark World checks on the way there. There also is in logic oh no, wait, not without mitts. I was going to say that horrible mirroring to check magic bat, but we can't actually get to that spot yet without mitts, so runners don't have to worry about that right now. That's particularly miserable to do when Aga is your Dark World access. But I guess if you have mitts to get there, Aga's not your Dark World access anymore.
And Digging Game just producing a big 20 there, so kind of round in the South of Kakariko checks here. Cave 45 Stumpy headed over to Hype Cave.
And we are just finding nothing here. There almost has to be something in Hype Cave, since we've already seen Pod Eastern. I'm trying to think of what else is even possible to check right now. We've got Catfish that no one has shown us. We've got Agina's Cave. And I think that might be about it after Hype.
That's about, they could dip the first chest in Swamp, too. But who wants to do that, really?
I mean, if Hype Cave comes up empty, Rayvis might do it right now just because you're here. Or we'll just find the hammer right there on the NPC.
And now we got normal Dark World access with that hammer, so not going to be an issue getting back to the Dark World just through the Aga portal. And is he? Okay, he's going to go to Swamp now since that's going to be completable. That makes sense.
Yeah, and the hammer actually doesn't open up a whole lot else right now. We've already seen everything in Light World Death Mountain. So especially being a crystal, Swamp is the biggest play opened up by hammer here.
Yeah, that does open up Spike Cave too. That is a good point, but that's a very out of the way check. I don't see the runners going up there for that anytime soon until they maybe get mitts.
Yeah, hammer does also put Magic Bat in play. So yeah, a couple of one-offs or a Crystalline Swamp Palace made that one a pretty easy call for Rayvis.
Absolutely. There's 6 items here in Swamp, so it makes sense for them to go here now.
Well, Demo has made it into Thieves Town, still with no glove or hammer. He's probably going to find those in back-to-back checks in a couple of minutes here. So with Rayvis opening up a couple of minutes lead so far on Demo, largely due to that pod Eastern dip that came up empty on Demo's side. Demo really needs Rayvis to find the bow before the mitts and full clear pod and Eastern in return to gain some of that time back, I think. But if it's something like mitts here in Swamp, which leads to a bow in Ice Palace, Rayvis is going to have a pretty big lead that's going to be tough for Demo to come back from.
Yeah, if the bow is your go mode item, then yeah, you're not gonna tip Eastern at all.
But on the other hand, I think if Rayvis finds nothing here, and, you know, bow or mitts are hanging out in one of these weird one-off locations, we might very well see Rayvis do the pod Eastern play next after this.
You find the cape there, but that's not gonna help anything. Bumper Ledge didn't have anything, and 50 rupees, so those two items hadn't left, but not really progression, what we're looking for.
So it appears Rayvis not a diver down enthusiast, or at least not with the bomb set up. We'll just go ahead and do the back of Swamp Palace the way we did back in my day.
That's the way I still do it too, so it's fine. I'm not into that old fancy little, oh, I got a diver down. Look at me go.
I've got a Cane of Samaria. I can break this entire game.
I do icebreaker. That's about as far as I get.
So Rayvis has got one shot left to find any progression in Swamp Palace here on Argus, as Demo is going into the blind fight.
Very clean first phase there on Argus. Using those poke dash strats. Few fire rod shots, spin your sword and win. And Swamp was surprisingly empty at this point.
So yeah, we will see what Rayvis does next. If he goes for the density of checks over in the Pod Eastern area, or clears up some of these overworld checks first. Ooh, looks like he's thinking Spike Cave. Or thinking that he misfluted.
He is heading to...
Yeah, I think this makes sense. Looks like Magic Bat, yeah.
Okay.
if you want to clear up some overworld checks, I think it makes sense to do this one before Sprite Cave.
Magic Bat's going to have 3 bombs. So we got Agahnim, Catfish, Spike Cave. Where do you go? Spike Cave. Okay. And Demo finally getting his glove out of the dig spot.
Yeah, it's a hard call for Rayvis here of like, do you go to Agahnim, that check that's been open forever, or do you chase the new progression that you just got and hope that your opponent also skipped Agahnim?
And there's the bow in Spike Cave. We found progression, people.
So now I think it's safe to assume that we're going to get this Pod Eastern play. And unless those mitts are on Helmasaur, Rayvis is probably going to full clear Eastern as well. I lost track of the item counts in Pod, so I'm not 100% sure if Helma still has an item or not. But to answer a question in chat, yes, neither one of these runners checked Agahnim even with Flute. We got a lot of hints about it being an Aga seed early on, and both of them rushed Aga a little bit. Demo did not even have a single glove, so checking Agahnim made less sense for him, although he had Shovel and Agahnim left when he went ahead to Aga, so... So now we'll really be able to take stock, I think, of where the race is after this. Once Rayvis is done with whatever he's going to do in the Pod Eastern area and Demo is done with Swamp, they will have done pretty much the exact same checks, maybe a few one-offs different here and there.
Rayvis going in the pod here can bow clear it on the first go with the bow and the hammer in hand. Unlike what Demo did, who came in here without those 2 items.
And one thing that's going to come up here is Rayvis is going to find this big key early on. And so we'll have the opportunity to do Helma right after the right side, which is pretty much the play to make when you are 1 item from go mode, as we are right now. So if those mitts are on Helmasaur, Rayvis is going to clear the minimum amount of this dungeon that he has to.
You know, as they kind of jump over each other's footsteps, reminder to give our runners a follow. They are putting on a show for you tonight. And as always, give a shout out to our trackers, Sigma 6. Thank you for clicking our buttons for us, keeping us honest. You see Demo attempting to diver down there. There he goes. Slips into that rail and jumps straight down into the... walking on the water.
And Demo is so far skipping the left side. We'll see if he goes back in for it, or if he is maybe thinking about where he can cut some corners. As we said, has spent a fair bit of time on those pod Eastern checks that he might be a little bit concerned about right now, so he might be looking to pick up some time by skipping a few checks somewhere.
Just as a note, though, if he does find the mids here, he is in potential go mode. The big key could still be Samaria locked, and we would need to find the king of Samaria.
So a few more hits to the mask here, and once again we'll see pretty short work of Helmasaur in phase 2. And yeah, Demo is going to go back in for the left side of Swamp. As Rayvis finds just a heart piece on Helmasaur, which means I think we're going to see a full clear of Pod and Eastern from Rayvis.
Yep, we have not seen what was on Armos Night yet. I don't know if they found all 3 items, or Rayvis found all 3 items in Eastern.
The consensus in chat seems to be that Armos does have an item as well. And Twitch chat has never lied to me in my entire life, so they must be correct.
Oh, never.
So yeah, a lot of backtracking once again as runners have sort of swapped places between Swamp and Eastern. I guess the real question is, how do we feel, or how do both of these runners feel if they just go to Agahnim in a couple of minutes and find something interesting there?
I wouldn't feel very good, honestly. It's something that's, it's one of those Spear 1 checks that you're supposed to check at the beginning of the game, and miss it for this long, it can't feel good, so...
Oh, interesting. Rayvis not taking this Eastern trip right away. Oh, I lost track of that. Was Pod our other 5-6 crystal? Yes, it was. So Big Bomb is available now.
Okay. See, Demo is going to head over to the desert area. He's going to check Agahnim here.
I can respect this from Rayvis. It's a pretty quick check of Pyramid Fairy since we've beaten Aga and have the mirror, and then it will be a pretty quick trip back to Eastern Palace with the flute. So
You saw Agahnim there, just bringing 20 today, so it could have been something. We just don't know what.
Rayvis also showing off some nice strats to let yourself dash with the big red bomb there, either recovering from a damage boost or the hook shot animation, but there are the mitts in Pyramid Fairy.
So, potential go mode here. We're not going to say go mode for sure. Yes, answer a question, chat. What was in Spike Cave? Demo has not been up to Spike Cave yet, so. And Rayvis gonna take those meds, flew over this desert. There's a green bottle. We'll take a green bottle.
Yeah, I think even though it is not officially go mode, it's a pretty high probability of it, and I think Rayvis is pretty much going to treat it like it is go mode. You might check Mire Shed. I probably wouldn't though. I would just go full go mode, and if you get Kane locked out of the GT Big Key, then figure it out then.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And here it is from Demo. Finally, those late gloves are really coming back to bite him because he has that Catfish Zora combo available that he could have done a little bit faster earlier on, but is going back to it now. Just giving Rayvis time to build up more of a lead on his way to GT. So Rayvis making quick work of Desert. I expect we'll see pretty quick work of Lanmo as well. And I'll just curse Rayvis with that short hop from the first head.
Nice recovery, though.
So Demo is on the way to Spike Cave next. We'll get his bow. But this feels like a pretty tough lead to come back from, since he's got to go back to Palace of Darkness, get all the way to Helma. So he's behind that much, plus this entire desert full clear that Rayvis just did.
So Rayvis is gonna go mode this Ice Palace here. Not gonna do any checks that's unnecessary. He will check a couple chests along the way, just not that first one.
Yeah, and with no Kane, so no Icebreaker, we're not going to see anything on the right side. We might see Freeze Ore chest and the big chest if that happens to be Big Key, but since Rayvis even skipped the Compass chest, he's not going to go any amount out of his way for extra checks in here.
Let's see a good old-fashioned Ice Palace bomb jump. Good. And it is good. You never really see that too much anymore.
Yeah, still a good one to practice, because you never know when the game's just going to give you a seed where cane is not required or just not available at this point in time. Rayvis using the red potion there. This might be for the sword beam fire rod strats.
Let's go stare in the corner and perfectly done there.
So yeah, Rayvis was trying that sword beam strat where if you fire a sword beam at just the right time while there's a fire rod shot in the air, the sword beam hits like a fire rod shot. Didn't quite get the timing down, but it was worth a try. Got through that cold stare fight very quickly regardless. Did not let the puffs get out of the corner there.
Ooh, and Devil takes an unfortunate death to their helmet.
Yeah, that is a really painful death for Demo.
Okay, well, and technically not go mode, but kind of go mode. So go ahead and get your GT Bicky guessing games. There are 17 chests that you can check right now. Hopefully it's 1 through 17 and not the other 5. Or if it is the other 5, we just find the cane and GT. Give Rayvis just open some extra checks here. Just make sure Kane is not anywhere on the way to GT. You might see him dip in the hookshot cave here as well.
Yeah, we are pretty much at max equipment since we're in hard item pool, so there's nothing he could really get here to improve his climb or Ganon fight. This is only looking for the red cane at this point. Gets a bunch of rupees, but nothing useful. Good point. We do have half magic floating around, but also a green potion in hand for Rayvis, so he's probably not worried too much about magic for this climb. But it can come in handy, lets you spam out fire rod shots in the gauntlet in particular.
And he's gonna go Hope Rope first. Makes sense. Only 2 checks. Check over here. There it is, number 2. Okay, we are good to go.
That will end the suspense real early. Our tracker winning the GT Big Key guessing game, that's not suspicious at all.
Nah, it's fine.
So Rayvis now officially in 100% go mode at 1 hour and 8 minutes and 30 seconds or so. Already in Ganon's tower. This is going to turn into quite a jet seed for Rayvis. Sort of funny to call it a jet seed after we spent so long wandering around the Dark World not finding anything after Aga.
Yeah, most of the items we found were in the light world. Just found the bow and the mitts. And the hammer. So, yep, this was an Aga recorded seed.
This gauntlet not going quite as smoothly as Rayvis probably wants, but...
Down to one heart, just gonna have to powder this bunny beam here.
Well, Demo finishing off the Armos Knights there. We'll go ahead and turn in this green pendant. I really want that green 20 to have been the potential second bow, but...
And you see the effects of not having Cadence Samaria there for those two rooms. And Demo is making the Pyramid Fairy play, finally gonna get those mitts.
And yeah, we know that Rayvis has a comfortable lead at this point. I'm not sure that Rayvis knows that, because I feel like he routed this very well, but I don't think he made any really unorthodox plays. He made the sorts of plays that you might think, well, if my opponent did the exact same thing, they are hot on my heels right now. So it's always sort of hard to predict where you are in a race. I don't know, I'm always frantically nervous no matter how far ahead I should feel at this point in a race.
It's an hour and 12 minutes in, and you're about to fight Aga too. You gotta feel pretty good, so.
And there's Aga 2 down for Rayvis, and just the Ganon fight left to go.
Wonder where that red cane is hiding. You will never know.
Yeah, it could be in some myths-locked overworld locations like the Smith Chain or any of those checks we skipped in Ice Palace. And there's phase 1 for Rayvis. Looks to be set up for the full 1-and-1 here.
Indeed does get the 1-and-1. Very nicely done. Textbook Ganon fight here with the Tempered Sword. And not many Ganon warps either. That's gotta be nice. Now it's just 12 spins, gets the torch glitch. Magic bar is pretty full, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Yeah, and still has that green potion in his back pocket from the desert ledge. But getting triples off of these torchlights, so might need just one more to finish off Ganon.
And Ganon is down. Only thing left for Rayvis to do is cross this 1x3 bridge. And there it is. Get those GGs in chat for Rayvis finishing with the official race time.gg time of 1 hour 15 minutes 36 seconds. Very well done.
Yeah, very clean finish there with that Ganon fight. That was absolutely textbook. GG's to Rayvis indeed.
And we are joined now by the winner of the race, Rayvis. GG to you.
GG. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. Well, what were your thoughts about, you saw Meyer TR's not appended, so Kane might not be required, then going through this whole game without fighting it, getting the GT, and you end up fighting the Mickey and Chess too. How are you feeling at this point?
I felt kind of confident, but I was also worried because a lot of strats I tried to do with boots, obviously, you can do a lot of fast strats. Didn't work out. I bumped into a lot of enemies, so I had to do a lot of backup strats, and that seed felt pretty forward unless you might want to dip Eastern or pot before going to Spike Cave. But when Swamp was empty, and I had only 2 hammer checks, and I didn't want the mids to be in Eastern, besides obviously Amos or Green Pendant. I wanted to check the hammer checks first, found that bow, was like, okay, I take that for sure. And yeah, then I just hope that it's Pyramid Fairy, otherwise I would go to Eastern. Yeah. Was overall okay. I was a little wonky at some points. Most boss fights went well, besides all my Lenmo fights. But yeah, it was okay. It was okay game 1. Still a bit rusty.
Yeah, I think the really big deciding factor was just coming out of Aga, where you went straight across the river, and Demo went ahead over to Pod right away and full cleared the back before having Bow. So that really slowed him down getting into the Dark World.
Yeah, I dislike going to Pod without bow and hammer. If you have one of them, specifically the bow, I can see that more. But going without both is like when you have so much open. And yeah, I mean, you can do that. That can work out as well. at that point, it's just a bit of how you feel and what you like to do. So I can understand still going in. I personally just don't like to do that, but I totally understand if people, well, in that case, Demo wants to check that. GG's to him, by the way.
Yeah, I guess the other big decision point that I'm curious about is not checking Agahnim before going to Aga 1, since you did have the flute. Now, both of you did that, so it was pretty much the same time that you were going up Aga Tower. But any insight into that decision, even after you had found the first glove on the dig spot?
No, I wasn't too worried about Agahnim. That felt like the Agast seed of all Aga seeds.
Yeah.
Just like an early cape would have been, an additional indicator of that being an Aga seed. But no, I wasn't too concerned. Obviously, I can't say no problem. It could still be an Eastern as well, so I wasn't specifically worried about Agahnim, but yeah. As it turns out, it was a good route, and it was game 1. You can, in my eyes, you can take that kind of a risk in a game 1. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe next time I will clear Eastern and Agahnim. It's sometimes on the fly, and I felt like this is a big Aga seed. I got so much open with my hook shot. Can clear 2 crystal dungeons, can go to Hype Cave, can still then combine pot with Eastern together if the bow or something turns up there. But yeah, worked out perfectly fine.
Yep. Clearing that pod opened up the Pyramid Ferry, so you wouldn't have to check that right away instead of going into Eastern and happened to find myths there. So I mean, that was your go mode, and that it was just good routing and just making all the right decisions.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. GT is obviously a little worrisome, but since there was no key on Colts there, the cane could have been in GT as well. And I mean, there are around 20 items that I can get there, so that's actually the highest dense location for the cane itself. So, this was a pretty easy choice to make, just checking the rest of the Death Mountain checks beforehand, just in case the cane turns up there. Yep. Pretty straightforward seed in general.
They call it Hope Room for a reason. Hopefully you find the big key and the small key there. You don't have to do anything else. So that's what it delivered.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on this seed, or any thoughts going into game 2 of this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, game 2 is tomorrow, same time. I should get up a little bit earlier. It's now 9:30 a.m. here. I was very sleepy at the start. Should get my coffee or something. Then I'm gonna be fine even in the first 20 minutes.
Well, speaking for someone that is 3:30 in the morning, I appreciate this fast seed. So,
yeah, thanks guys for commentating, for tracking, for restreaming in general. Thanks to chat as well, and hopefully see you soon.
thank you very much. So yeah, this is gonna be the last race of the quote unquote night. But yeah, we got so much action going on tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, tomorrow evening, into the early morning. So starting off, we have at 12:10 p.m. on SpeedGaming Prime. We got Raylan Tank here versus Namefaker, game 3 of the losers bracket. That is at 12:10 p.m. Eastern. And then at 1:10 p.m. Eastern on SpeedGaming 2, we got Chemo vs. Humbug. Then later at 2:10 p.m. again on SpeedGaming Prime, we got Trent vs. Matt Cap. Then at no races scheduled until 8:10 p.m. on ALTTPR Randomizer. We got New York Rambler Jig. And then at 9:10 p.m. on SpeedGaming 5, the Cinco, as I like to call it, we got 1-Up versus Sabatinder. Then at 30 minutes later at 9:40 p.m. on SpeedGaming 3 is P-Train versus Evo Saru. Then at 11:40 p.m. on SpeedGaming 3, following that match, we got Bruce Fan JP versus Lock Live. Then at 12:09 a.m. Eastern, Sailor Depth versus Pretty Wrong. Then, as mentioned by Rayvis here, at 2:10 a.m. tomorrow morning, Eastern Time, we got Rayvis versus Demo in Game 2. So, still plenty of good action coming up tomorrow on the SpeedGaming channel networks. Other than that, anything else you'd like to add, Cool Papa Bill?
I don't think so. Just thanks everybody for staying up late, getting up early, whatever you have done to watch this race. Had a lot of fun, so thank you all for joining us.
Yep, and always give our names a follow, and shout out to our tracker Sigma 6 again, and for Cool Papa Bell, I am Captain 1977, and have a good night and morning. Thank you.